Poetry definitely influences my everyday life because when I'm having a bad day or even if I'm having a great day, like there's always that one line that pops into your head. Like I remember when I was younger, my grandmother, before she died, she used to read me the same Irish blessing every night, and I can only remember the first three lines, but it said, may the roads rise to meet you, may the wind be always at your back, and may the sun shine warmly upon your face, or something like that, and then may God hold you in the palm of his hands. And to this day, like whenever I'm having a bad day, I think of her, and those just pop into my head, and it just, lifts my spirits, and it makes me hold my head high because my life could be so much worse.
I just reflect back. There's certain lyrics I think in the song "The Kill" by 30 Seconds to Mars, there's a line that finally found myself, and it just that line just talks about identity and trying to find yourself and finding out who you really are. Because I went through a hard time with my ex-boyfriend and struggling through some hard times.
Poetry matters because sometimes if you feel very strongly about something, you can't always come up with the words that you really want to say. And so sometimes it's good to be able to use a poem, somebody who's already thought for you those words that you can't think of. And it's just nice to be able to express that feeling to the person you're trying to tell how you really feel, but not fumble on your words about it.
I really love how one day you can read a poem and you're in a certain mood and you take it one way, like it uplifts you and it gives you a good morale from it in the end, but on a totally different day you could read the same exact poem and it could mean something completely different. Like it could actually bring you down and you can be like, that's a sick and horrible poem, like why would I think that was a happy one? It all depends on what kind of mood you're in.
I just think about my life and whatever I'm going through at the time, and it really helps me psychologically. It really makes me think really about each poem that I read, because you can really analyze a poem, paraphrase it, and dig down deep and find the deeper meaning inside of a poem.
When I was born, it was pretty much a miracle that I lived. I was born with a heart murmur and a very, very fast heartbeat. And I was sent to the floating heart hospital in Boston, and I spent a week in intensive care. And thanks to the doctors and some miracle, I managed to pull through, and here I am today.
I remember my first day as an EMT in Boston. I got a call for abdominal pains, and I got there and there was a pregnant lady, 9 months pregnant, laying there, and I was so scared because this is my first day. I'm 18 years old and I have to deliver a baby on my first day, and I didn't know what to do. Of course I was trained, so I just hoped to God that it would just come to me, and I ended up delivering a healthy baby girl who they named Danielle after me, and got her to the hospital and everything was fine. But after, it was just amazing to know that I held this little 1 minute baby.
One time, me and my mom got in a car crash, but the car didn't get totaled or anything. We ran into the guardrail, and it was a split second, and I didn't know what happened, and I was all scared and everything, and I was like, oh my God, I could have died. And it was just really scary.
Miracles by Walt Whitman. Why? Who makes much of a miracle? As to me, I know nothing else but miracles. Whether I walk the streets of Manhattan, or dart my sight over the roofs of houses towards the sky, or wade with naked feet along the beach just in the edge of the water, or stand under trees in the woods, or talk by day with one I love,
or sit at table at dinner with my mother, or look at strangers opposite me riding in the car, or watch honeybees busy around the hive of a summer forenoon, or animals feeding in the fields, or birds, or the wonderfulness of insects in the air, or the wonderfulness of the sundown, or of the stars shining so quiet and bright, or the exquisite, delicate, thin curve of the new moon in spring, or whether I go among those I like best, and that like me best, mechanics, boatmen, farmers, or among the savans, or to the soiree, or to the opera.
Or stand along while looking at the movements of machinery, or behold children at their sports, or the admirable sight of the perfect old man or the perfect old woman, or the sick in hospitals or the dead carried to burial, or my own eyes and figure in the glass. These with the rest, one and all, are to me miracles, the whole referring, yet each distinct in its place. To me, every hour of the light and dark is a miracle. Every cubic inch of space is a miracle. Every square yard of the surface of the earth is spread with the same. Every foot of the interior swarms with the same. Every spear of grass, the frames, limbs, organs of men and women, all that concerns them. All these to me are unspeakably perfect miracles. To me, the sea is a continual miracle. The fishes that swim, the rocks, the motion of the waves, the ships with men in them. What stranger miracles are there?
What stranger miracles are there?
What stranger miracles are there?
I'm so moved!
This poem we've chosen by William Wordsworth.
Just kidding.
I like that song. Good song, it's got a good beat, you know, sitting in the car and bumping.
The bass.
Boom, boom. You know, so do you ever find yourself at the ocean, you just look out and you're like,
Whoa.
you think like, how many fish are actually in the ocean? Or like, how many different types of species there are? Does that ever like...
Well, see, I live in Wyoming.
There's no ocean.
I'm going to say a secret message to Diana about the camera condensating for an hour. Okay? I'm going to say a special message to Diana. Diana, I can't. Well, poetry to me is Diana.